ये तो देखो शुरू करें. The topic of my brief lecture is recall of interrupted versus uninterrupted task. In other words, ZIEGARNIK effect. You see that ZIEGARNIK was a very young research scholar. A very young scholar. She was sitting with her professor Kultraveen, and they were in the coffee house. So ZIEGARNIK all of a sudden discovered a unique phenomena and raised a question. What would happen if a person is interrupted to complete his or her task? The question is that if you are performing certain tasks, reading a newspaper or calculating mathematical issues or something else, and if your task is interrupted, that is to say, you are not allowed to perform that task, so what will be the effect? Interrupted to complete the task. With this very strong background of Gestalt psychology and influence of her professor Kurt Lewin, she hypothesized that, what hypothesized? According to her, if a person is motivated, remember the condition is that if a person is motivation, if a person is motivated to retain a certain task and is not able to complete it, to retain a certain task and is not able to complete it, tension system will be developed. As soon as an opportunity is availed to resume the incompleted task, the subject will recall interrupted tasks, greater number of interrupted tasks as compared to completed tasks. The main point is that the organism, that is the worker, is performing a task, reading a newspaper or calculating mathematics or algebra or something else, and he or she is interrupted, unable to complete the task. What will be the effect? According to ZIEGARNIK, the effect will be that subjects, that is research participant, that is worker, will recall greater number of interrupted tasks as compared to completed tasks. Now, this is called as briefly ZIEGARNIK effect. Remember that it is a sudden discovery. It is a sudden discovery. Now we again connect them. That respondents will recall greater number of interrupted tasks as compared to uninterrupted tasks. In other words, subject will recall greater number of uncompleted tasks as compared to completed tasks. ZIEGARNIK. Now tell us, you have a very strong background of the variable. Now tell us kindly what is independent variable and dependent variable in this experiment, that is ZIEGARNIK effect. I repeat that those subjects who were interrupted in performing a task would recall greater number of interrupted tasks as compared to completed tasks. Now find out, recognize independent dependent variable. Your answer will be that your answer will be where is that your answer will be so for this experiment, ZIEGARNIK effect, ZIEGARNIK effect for ZIEGARNIK effect. A list of words, pictures, figures. List of words, pictures, figures. For example, moon, sun, boy, girl, house, fruit. For example, apple, 8, 9 figures. A list of words, pictures and figures were prepared, and this list is presented to the subject. They are shown to the subjects. Now remember that subject was randomly interrupted in middle or in the beginning of the task. In some of the tasks, for example, there are 30 tasks. So in some of the tasks, subject was interrupted. For example, after performing fourth task, when he or she performed fifth task, he is interrupted. Number 2, randomly, that you ask, the researcher asks that, for example, write down the city, your favorite city. He or she writes, for example, London. L-O-N, here interrupted, that not allowed to perform the work. Or for example, to draw a picture of house. Now the subject, this is research participant, is drawing house, so in the middle you interrupt. It is called as interruption. Now for example, there are 30 tasks. So in half the task, subject were interrupted, and in half the task, subjects were not interrupted. But remember that interruption will be always randomly. For example, after sixth work, he performs task number 6 to interruption. Then comes, for example, task number 8, interrupted. In the beginning or in the last, it is called as interruption, in randomly interruption. Now, method. I repeat it, that after presentation of all tasks in one session, subject will be asked, will be instructed to recall the task. Now, ZIEGARNIK, on the basis of her experiment, concluded that her subjects recalled greater number of interrupted tasks as compared to uninterrupted. This is the major finding. While our Pakistani late Professor S.M. Mughni, in his published paper, A Reversal of ZIEGARNIK, explained that ZIEGARNIK effect could not verify by Professor Mughni, and he explained that it is due to cultural differences. So this is ZIEGARNIK effect. Now references, I have given only 2 references. Mughni, SM, A Reversal of ZIEGARNIK. Title of the book, title of the research paper, A Reversal of ZIEGARNIK. Pakistan Psychological Studies, published in Pakistan. And the original article, ZIEGARNIK, in Crafts et al. The title of the book is Recent Experiments in Psychology, New York, McLaughlin. Mughni Hassan, A Reversal of ZIEGARNIK, Pakistan Psychological Studies. This is journal, and the original article of ZIEGARNIK in Crafts, the author, Recent Experiment in Psychology. This experiment has clinical significance as well, remember. This experiment has clinical as well as educational significance. It's serendipitous experiment. Have a good time. Any question you can consult